What's up, everyone? She is the brains and he is the brawn, and they are both sat on the block fighting for their big brother lives. And I did not at all sound like Julie Chen Moonves opening the show. We've got so much to talk about, guys, so welcome to your live feed update. Now, right from the off, guys, we know that Christian and Sarah Beth are now the final nominees of the week sat on the block, so I'm going to throw it to you. There is definitely arguments for both, brain versus brawn. I kind of asked this in a form yesterday, but I would like to know straight up, guys, who you think should be evicted this week. If you were sat in that house as a house guest, who makes more logical sense to get rid of, regardless of, obviously, dynamics of playing if you were in there, but face value, guys, what sort of person are you? Are you wanting to get rid of the brains, which would be Sarah Beth, or the brawn, which is Christian? What makes more logical game sense? Let me know in the comment section below. Over the past couple of days, it's been very noticeable that Sarah Beth is down and out, and she's feeling very kind of bummed out that she's on the block. So she has spent a lot of time kind of, I guess, crying into Kyland and, hugging him and just sort of finding someone to comfort her. And Arza noticed that she was talking amongst a couple of people when they first woke up. I think it was the Jokers that was sat there. I believe Brittany and Big D was sat there, and she was basically saying it's becoming kind of, annoying what happened to Sarah Beast, not Sarah Beth. So people are starting to notice that. But listen, I always stick up for the person who gets emotional in the house, because I said it when Brittany was emotional. We don't know what it was like. Well, we don't know what it is like to be in there. Yes, it's understandable, and it's easy as a viewer to go, oh, pick yourself up, but listen, everybody deals with different situations in a different way, and you throw somebody into, I don't know, a social situation, whether it be work, whether it be at home, whether it be going out with friends, or heck, the Big Brother house. All those situations are very different on how you're going to react to stuff. So let's just give her a break. I don't think Azza was being mean about it, but I think we just got to counter in that being on the block is a tough emotional spot to be. But I think it's almost certain that Christian's going this week anyway, so Sarah Beth hasn't got that much to worry about. Now, a very awkward conversation between Christian and Derek X. I was watching it and I was kind of thinking, oh, geez, will this ever end? Christian was trying to pitch something to Derek X to try and keep him in the house this week. Discard that, Christian. You need to focus on the house, not Derek X. Once the veto ceremony's taken place, the head of household is virtually just powerless. The head of household is powerless after the veto ceremony has taken place, unless obviously it comes down to a tie. But I don't think the lines are that close this week, and I'm trying to figure out in my head if it will be a tie this week. I've got my Big Brother board right next to me. I'm going to check this. So, folks, there is 9 votes this week, so it can't even be a tie. So I had to check there for a second. That's what the Big Brother board is there for, folks, if you haven't seen that before. So there's 9 votes this week, so Derek X can't even put it in the middle if it comes down to it. So listen, you need to be focusing on the people who are voting, not the person who is the head of household who has no power anymore. Obviously, Derek X has sway, but you really need to be on the groundwork working the people who have the vote. So he was telling Derek X that if he can stick around, that he would give him safety, or they would give each other mutual safety for 3 weeks. I'm pausing for a moment of just what the hell, because why would you do that? Christian could go downstairs and speak to the people and say, I'm not going to target you, I'm not going to target you, I'm not going to target you for 3 weeks. Not Derek X, who's just put him up on the block. What's Derek X going to be able to do? It doesn't make sense. However, I will say this. I gave Christian flack yesterday for the fact that Alyssa is basically being his campaign manager. She's doing all the work for him and he's doing nothing and just sitting down. I respected that, at least, that he was trying and he got up and actually campaigned for himself rather than letting Alyssa do all the work. But I've got to say, if I'm being fair to all house guests, which I always am, I try to balance everything out, the campaigning is pretty poor coming from Christian's end. But props to him for actually trying to campaign. I respect that a ton. Christian began to pitch to Hannah at one point, and Hannah basically countered back every single thing that Christian said to him. It was kind of a moment of where you go, sweet, sweet justice has been served, because Hannah was on the block last week as the pawn, and you don't put someone on the block that is crucial to your game. You put someone on the block that's expendable to your game. So Hannah's realised this, and she is in the power position now where she can vote Christian out the house, and she's not doing it in an obnoxious way, she's not doing it in a patronising way. She's basically just sat there thinking to herself, do you know what? You had no regard for me last week when you put me on the block, Christian. She didn't say this to him, but you could tell it was kind of that vibe. You had no regard when you put me on the block last week, Christian, and if something had gone wrong, I could have gone home. But he didn't think of that. He just saw Hannah as somebody to put up. And now Hannah is getting to vote him out the house on Thursday night. Now, in regards to targets for the upcoming weeks, obviously everybody's got their own option, but the one that seems to be very, very prevalent and important in the house is Tiffany's preferred boot order, because so far, whatever Tiffany's wanted or whatever Tiffany's tried to influence, she's gotten. While she always hasn't necessarily wanted Christian as the final target, she influenced Christian to go on the block this week. She was planting seeds left, right and centre last week for Christian and Sarah Beth, and guess who's on the block by the end of this week? It's Christian and Sarah Beth. Tiffany gets what she wants. So let's talk about Tiffany's preferred boot order. She was talking to Derek X about this. They are looking at, obviously, Christian taking the first blow this week, followed by Sarah Beth the week after, then Alyssa, and then Brittany. It's becoming down to the wire now as we're getting into the jury stage. It becomes very, very important of the order that you pick people off, because, you know, are you going to keep people around in the house more to mollycoddle and make them feel good about themselves so then you can take their vote at the end, or do you just need to take them out whilst you can and, you know, short and sweet and send them to jury straight away? Tiffany obviously thinks this sort of stuff through a lot, and she's got all of her wingmen and wingwomen to support her in doing so, and nobody is turning on Tiffany. The house guest enjoyed Taco Tuesday, and I was literally tweeting yesterday, I put on my Twitter, like, when they were discussing it earlier in the day about having a Tacos Tuesday, all I can think of is Nick screaming at Christy, "Manifest the truth, bro." That is literally what Taco Tuesday is tainted with. I know as a Big Brother fan, like, I know this is, you know, this is like, I'm in a Big Brother nerd coming out here, but even when I talk about Taco Tuesday in real life or anything like that, literally all I can think of is season 21's Taco Tuesday fight of Christy versus Nick. It's a classic. I know it's literally 2 years ago, but it's a classic fight in Big Brother in my opinion. After Taco Tuesday came and went, Xavier and Alyssa were sort of discussing about if Christian goes this week. Alyssa was saying to Xavier if she's thinking about if she's going to give Christian a kiss or not when he leaves the house, and I think she was saying, like, you know, she didn't know how she would feel because she didn't know if everybody would think it was their first time. Trust me, Alyssa, nobody is going to come as a shock. It's not going to come as a shock to anybody when you kiss Christian. They are literally like joined at the hip 24/7, much to Alyssa's disagreement. She thinks that she continues to be shocked that people perceive them as a duo when they are literally joined at the hip 24/7. And it will be for the first time on Thursday night when Christian leaves the door that they will not be joined at the hip 24/7 until the season is over and they can finally meet up afterwards. Hannah was given a bit of a seminar to quite a few of the house guests about body language. Now, this is incredible. I'm going to break this down. Let's split it right down the middle. One side, brilliant, Hannah, that's amazing stuff that you're teaching. That's really great knowledge in the Big Brother game. Other side, Hannah, that's really great knowledge in the Big Brother game that you're giving to other people. Like, she knows all the days as well when they're revising the days. Who won the veto on this day? What was the name of this competition? Who was evicted on this day? Who won head of household on this day? What was this head of household competition called? She knows it all like the back of her hand, and she continues to do these sessions with people where she's running through all the days and she's telling everybody the information. Hannah, withhold the body language seminar. She's teaching these people everything. It's brilliant to watch because she's very knowledgeable and a very, very intelligent individual, but she needs to refrain that information and keep it to herself. Big Brother is an individual game. I mean, maybe you could teach Derek X because you're close to him, but not a group of people in the whole house that are potentially going to turn on you at one point, Hannah. I respect it a ton, the knowledge she's got, but Hannah, for goodness sake, keep the knowledge to yourself. Christian told Brittany about his Plan Z, whatever you guys want to call it. So he said that he would go to Tiffany and Claire and tell them that Sarah Beth and Kyland have decided to split the money down the middle should they win the whole game. And obviously that will add fuel to the fire that Tiffany has been stoking all damn week. We saw her talk to Kyland and literally ask her, do you know Sarah Beth from the outside world? We've seen them literally paint Tiffany's painted the target left, right and centre on their backs. It's almost as if Kyland was never in the Queens anymore. She's painting that target very, very well. And, you know, we've saw Tiffany's she's settled now. She's okay with Christian leaving the house. But we saw that she did want Sarah Beth out. So this could potentially, there's a very slim chance, but it could tip her over the edge and start the cogs turning and take Sarah Beth out. I don't know why essentially that would work. I mean, either way, Tiffany's not getting the money if Sarah Beth and Kylan were to split it down the middle. But I think it would just add to that fire of how close Sarah Beth and Kylan are and how Tiffany has that distrust there, that mistrust, where she doesn't know what she can do with them further down the line and how she can work with them if they're so tight with one another. So this is the kind of campaigning that I'm looking for from Christian, even though it's kind of It's quite the angle. It is quite the angle, but it's better than going to the head of household who has no power and offering 3 weeks of safety if they keep them safe. So this is what I'm looking for. So props to Christian for actually trying this, and expect things to definitely heat up over the next couple of days, especially if Tiffany's down with this and start to flip more people against Carl and Sarah Beth. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. I'm having a blast watching this week of Big Brother. It is such fun to watch. We've actually seen someone make a big move in the shape of Derek X backdooring Christian, or trying to backdoor Christian come Thursday night, which is the Big Brother that we've all longed for so long, people actually making a move. So huge props to Derek X for that. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts of this season so far in the comment section below, or just this week of this season. Do you think Derek X has been a good head of household? Are you hoping Christian gets backdoored on Thursday, or are you hoping Tiffany's going to flip the votes and try and take Sarah Beth out? Who do you think should be taken out? Who's the more logical threat to take out, Sarah Beth or mine's blanking, Christian? There we go. Got there eventually, folks. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single last one of you. I'll say as I always do, make sure you're staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there, and be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.